Hey guys, it's your girl. Today I'm going to be making my famous crab salad. Okay, so today for my crab salad I'm going to be using imitation crab meat. This is a 2-pound bag I got at Sam's Club and I'm going to use it all. Then I've got my little hamburger masher there I'm going to use to break it up. I'm going to use some parsley, dill, Old Bay, salt, pepper. Got a nice lemon, onion, bell pepper, celery. I'm gonna dice all that up, mix it with some mayonnaise. Okay, I'm gonna start here by dicing up all my veggies. I'm gonna start with the celery, and I like to dice it pretty finely for this salad. I like the texture and the crunch. It gives a nice color, a little bit of green to your salad. So I like to add a lot of celery when I make this, but I do like to dice it finely. And I'm going to go through and mince it even just a little bit more just to get it a little bit smaller. Not really, really small, but that's a good texture, I think, for being raw in a salad. Now I'm just going to cut off the ends of this onion, peel this, and I'm not going to use the whole onion. I'm only going to use about half of this onion. I like raw onion in salad, but too much upsets my stomach, so I'm just going to put about a half in here. And these are nice sweet onions. They don't make your eyes burn when you're cutting them, and they don't upset your stomach. And they're really crunchy and sweet. I love them. So I'm going to cut these pretty small too, close to the same size as the celery. And just like the celery, I'm going to go through and give it just another little tiny mince, just to get it a little bit smaller. And this bell pepper wasn't that great, but it needed a little bit. And I don't put a whole lot of bell pepper in it, so that was good. So I just like to cut it into thin strips. I wash it, of course. Cut it into thin strips and then just dice it up the same size, roughly, as the celery and onions. And I don't go back over this and give it another chop because it'll get watery. And I don't want my salad to be too watery or thin. But I love to chop fresh vegetables. I don't mind it at all. It's sort of therapeutic. Okay, so now that I got all those veggies chopped, I'm just going to start here by dumping out this crab meat into a big bowl. And it's all kind of stuck together there. It's formed in a seal. So I just use this tool here that I bought this tool off Amazon for breaking up hamburger when you're cooking ground beef, but I rarely ever use it for ground beef. I like to use it for when I make crab salad to break up the crab. I use it on chicken breasts when I'm making shredded chicken or something like that. So it comes in handy. I don't really find it that useful for doing ground beef, but it's useful for other things. So yeah, I like to get this crab meat to a smaller texture, nearly the size of those vegetables that I chopped. And it took me about 3 minutes to mash it all up and get it to the flaky size that I wanted. You can tell it's a lot smaller than when I started. So that's about right. That's about the size I want. And you can see here it's pretty fine, nice and flaky. That's a good size, I think. Also, you could use your hand mixer to break that up, just like you do with the chicken breasts. Works well. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and add some mayonnaise here. I'm going to start out with, I'm going to estimate that to be about a half cup. That was all that was left in my jar. So I'm going to get another jar here that I had on standby, and I'm going to estimate about another half cup. Now I'm just going to add these lovely chopped up veggies. That's satisfying to watch them all go in. And I just love lemons. So I'm going to start by cutting a lemon in half. And I'm just going to squirt this in here. I'm going to try to catch all the seeds using my hand here because there were a lot of seeds in this lemon, more than you would usually find. But I love lemons. I'm kind of obsessed with them. I love the way they smell. I think they're so pretty. And of course, they're so good in anything that you add them to, really. So I just threw those seeds down the drain there to the disposal. And now I'm going to add some parsley flakes, just mostly like for color. If you don't have them, they probably don't add much flavor. And next I'm going to do some dill weed, which I love dill in anything. It makes anything tasty when you add dill to it. I would estimate that to be nearly a half teaspoon. And this is, keep in mind, this is 2 pounds of crab meat that I'm seasoning. So I'm going to add some black pepper, and I'd say again about a half teaspoon of that would probably. And Old Bay is so good with any kind of seafood. So I'm going to go ahead and add about, I'd say that was about a half teaspoon, a heaping half teaspoon. And that has salt in it, so I didn't add any salt just yet. So I'm just going to stir it all together. I can already kind of tell that it definitely is going to need more mayonnaise. So I estimate that to be about another half cup of mayonnaise that it needed. So in total, about a cup and a half of mayonnaise. And it did need some salt. It's just regular salt. Not a lot because the Old Bay has a lot of salt in it. Stir it until it's creamy. Give it a little taste test. And it was good, but I think it needed more lemon. The saltiness was on point, but it needed a little bit more lemon in there. So I had to go to the fridge and get another one. I love the way lemons smell when you first cut into one. They're just heavenly. I'm just obsessed with them. And this lemon was better than the first one. It didn't have very many seeds, and I think it was juicier. I should have known that it would take 2 lemons, being that it was 2 pounds of crab. Now it's time to stir it again. A lot of stirring going on. Just dropped a big blob on the floor there. And that's my girl coming to get it for me so I don't have to bend over and clean it up. Isn't she pretty? Give it one more little taste here. And it is so perfect. It's so creamy, and it's got just the right amount of saltiness, a little bit of crunchiness from the veggies, and that lemon just perks it right up. It's so good. This is something I make regularly. My family loves it. I never have any leftovers. And I serve it with crackers a lot of times. I've got some Ritz here, some club crackers for the fam when they come in because the men are out working in the yard right now. But you could put this on a croissant or bread. But we usually just eat it with crackers. If you think you don't like imitation crab, try this and it'll change your mind. Thanks for watching. Peace out.